So starting off right away, McKinley Jackson actually played 16 total snaps yesterday. 8 run defense, 8 pass rushing. And he did put up decent grades for his time playing. So I don't know if this is meaning something that he's going to get more play time or what's going on. Obviously, he requested a trader to be released if he didn't get more play time. Now I guess he is. Who knows? But yeah, I guess that's a thing. Also, missed tackles. We now have a new record for missed tackles. In a single game, 16. Now, it's actually not a record because we did have, what was it? Oh, I want to say against the Jets game. How many did we have against the Jets game? Because last week we had 0, which honestly, I got to say, one of the best defensive performance of the year came last week. Okay, why is PFF not showing me last week? Last week was our bye week, by the way. That's the joke. All right. Week 9 was the last time we actually played. Could be at the bye week last week. But week 9 against the Bears. And I keep in mind, this is PFF. And PFF they're idiots. So, like, we say, yeah, we had this amount of missed tackles, whatever. But all the sources are going to say we had more because they're more accurate with their reporting. PFF just PFFs. So against the Bears, we had 14. So that's 2 less than what we had against Steelers yesterday. Against the Jets, how many? 7. We had 7 missed tackles against the Jets. I feel like that number is just not correct, but apparently it is. Okay. Against the Steelers, the first time we played them, we had 11. So this time we had 17. Week 6, we had, against the Packers, we had 14. So this actually might be the most. I thought we had another week where we somehow were worse missed tackles. But not the case because that's 10 in week 5. Week 4, how many did we have? We had 12, week 4, against the Broncos. Week 3, come on, bro. We got to have 1 week. We had 8 in week 3 against the Vikings. Okay, yeah, no, you know what? We had 7 versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't think we had too many missed tackles in week 1. Ironically enough, week 1 was actually pretty decent. We had 9. So we have officially broken our record for the most missed tackles in a single week. I thought our defense played pretty decent yesterday. They weren't the greatest, but I thought they played pretty decent compared to what they normally play. That's what I'll say. Compared to what they normally play. Anyway, 16 missed tackles. Not the sexiest look for any defense, and at this point with our defense, it's kind of just expected. Looking at Dax Hill, he actually did lead the team with the best defensive grades from yesterday. Shout out to him for that. You know, again, there's not much to shout out when it comes to this team at this point, so any shout-outs we can get is always great. Owen Burks was actually the worst coverage player this week. Dax Hill, obviously, the best coverage player this week, as we just talked about. Let me go ahead and move this down. So this is the coverage grades. Again, like I said, I don't really look at grades that much anymore, but this is, if you're curious about it, this is what it looks like. It's not good. Never is. Miles Murphy actually led the team with the best pass rushing grades. That's pretty cool. Cedric Johnson was the worst, which, you know, would have been nice to see Antoine out there, the guy we just picked up, but didn't end up being the case. Run defense, Cam Taylor-Britt led, but he only had 2 run defense snaps, so it's kind of like, you know, one of those things where grades, that's why I hate grades so much, because grades can be really misconstrued if they don't play a lot of snaps. Josh Newton had 2 snaps on run defense, okay? This number is pointless. Tyson Anderson had 1. It's pointless, right? So, yeah. Pass blocking. Taj Brooks, 8.4. You wonder why Taj Brooks doesn't get any snaps. This is why. He can't pass block to save his life. And that was something in college that actually looked pretty okay at, was pass blocking, but not in the NFL. And then you see Orlando Brown, 28.2. Jalen Rivers, 16.1. Yeah, that's not sexy, man. You know, that's not sexy. 59.9 for Mims and so on and so on. For run blocking purposes, it was a little bit of that. Yeah, again, like I said, I'm just so fed up with this team at this point that nothing shocks me. I see these stats, I see these grades, and I'm like, you know, it is what it is. One game at a time, I guess. I don't even know. At this point, I just want the highest draft pick possible, but that's not how this is going to work. We're not going to lose out. We're going to, you know, try our best to win every game. And we're going to find our way, because this is usually how it works, to end up being like the 15th or 16th overall pick. And that's going to give us a mid-range player that really isn't going to be that good. Hopefully, they're that good. But when I say that good, I mean I want Caleb Downs. And I don't think Caleb Downs will last to the 15th, 16th overall pick. And I think the Bengals are thinking that they're potentially can trade up with Trey Hendrickson to like get maybe like a top 5 pick or something. But the problem with Trey Hendrickson is if we franchise tag and trade him, every team knows that. So they're not going to trade for him because they know he's not going to play on the franchise tag and we don't want him to. So they're just going to wait until he ends up going, you know, gets released and hits free agency or the price tag comes down. So caught in between a rock and a hard place. Emphasis on hard place at this point. But tell me down below your thoughts, opinions. See you guys next one.